Oh, it's showtime. It's showtime. And we're here today to figure out, why aren't people buying from you? Why aren't they buying from you? Obviously, you have like the best product coaching membership out there, but people still aren't lining up to buy. And I want to tell you why today. First of all, before we even get there, is are they not buying because they don't know who you are? We've already talked about this a lot, and I'm not going to talk about that today. But if you are still sitting on the sidelines uh, in the field of dreams marketing, where you think people are just going to magically show up, wrong. You have to be visible, right? So people have to know who you are to make that decision that they're going to buy from you. So we're going to put that off the table, because if you're not even visible yet, you're not even showing up live consistently, showing up with video, helping your folks out, figuring out why they should trust. Oh, the word is trust you. Then that's where you have to start. You have to start there. But today's live, I want to talk about, for those of you who are showing up and you're showing up consistently and you're still not getting, it doesn't matter. Hey, Kathy, it doesn't matter about the engagement. It doesn't matter about your likes. Those are all vanity numbers. What it matters are the numbers where people are taking out their credit card and they are buying from you. And today I really want to just talk about the reasons they're not buying from you. So this is for you. If you are showing up consistently and you're putting yourself out there and you're like, why aren't people buying from me? And it rhymes with lust. The answer is trust. They don't trust you. Period. Now, I love video, and I especially love live video, because it really is that fast track to the know, like, and trust factor. But there's a couple things at play here. You might be showing up. Are you showing up for the right person? So the first thing I want you to look at is your audience. I talk all the time, and if you have not been through my instant video connection worksheet yet, it's really a workbook, but let's pretend it's just one sheet, and you're watching on the replay or you want it now, just tell me in the comments and I'm happy to provide that for you. But the first thing you really have to understand is getting your audience right. Right? Because you could have the perfect pitch, the perfect product, but if it's to the wrong person, that's a no-go, right? That is going to be crickets for you. And that's frustrating, but I see it happen all the time. And what I see are people showing up, and then when I ask them about their ideal audience, when I ask them who is on the other side of that lens, there's a lot of hemming and hawing, and there's a lot of demographics being thrown out. You're not selling to a demographic. You can only sell one person at a time. You can sell many, but you can only sell one person at a time. And so you have to be crystal clear on who it is your offer is for. I love when I run Live Video Launchpad. I've spent a lot of time on the copy for that. I've spent a lot of time interviewing people, but my favorite thing is when someone who had no idea who I was said, "You said this and it spoke exactly to me." And in fact, it just happened less than a half an hour ago. And the thing I say is, I like to help you take those brilliant but scattered ideas out of your head and turn them into videos that convert, because you all have brilliant ideas, right? But it took me a little bit of time to figure out, what is it my audience really struggles with? Because my audience, very specifically, are already experts in their field. They're not figuring it out. They're not like, I'm not really sure what I do. They know what they do. They know what they want to do. They know what they want to put out into the world. They just have no idea how to take all of those unfocused ideas and focus them into marketing that makes a difference, into marketing that turns into sales. And that's what I help them do. But I need to say that and know my audience intimately, because the conversation with a 20-something-year-old person on video would be very different. They are not the experts of what they do. They are not like, right, their video experience is very different for those of us 45 and older. And so if I didn't know that, my products, my coaching, my services would not be successful. So the first thing I really need you to think about if you're not making sales is, do you intimately understand who your audience is and what it is they want from you, right? And then we always talk about the know, like, and trust factor. Again, you can show up and they can know you, and you can show up and of course you're likable. They like you, right? But they're not going to buy from you because of the trust, and they need to trust you as a person, a human. You're showing up with integrity, which is huge for me. I have a real pet peeve for a lot of the marketing going on where it is really shady and just for sales. That's not how we want to show up, right? The person needs to trust us, and they need to trust the results. They need to trust that you can get them those results. And again, you're the expert. So it's showing up with content that allows your viewer to understand, yes, they can trust you. You are working your online business, hey, Heather, with integrity, and then that they can trust the results. How do they trust the results? Social proof. Trust is all about social proof. It's one thing, a lot of people are like, I love your personality. I love when you show up. But really what people say to me is when I start talking about my client wins, when I start talking about my like hundreds and hundreds of student wins, and that's what gets people to buy, because they look at me and say, she's been in the video world for 20 years. Of course she's good on camera, which isn't true, by the way, but they don't hear that. What they hear is when I'm talking about Heather, who went from chicken shit to awesome. They're talking about, we just finished day 10 of LVL, and I have a woman in there who does, relationship and marriage counseling, and she was terrified and just did her last live, and every single person in the group was like, oh my gosh, it was that good, right? So when I talk about Shiloh, who didn't even want to show up on camera and then is rocking lives where we're all like, we're in good relationships, but we need you, right? That's social proof. If you think about Amazon, I call it the 5-star effect. You don't ever go to Amazon or shopping online or for anything and then pick the 1-star product, even if it's cheaper. So when people come to me and they're like, the reason people aren't buying is my price, it is not your price. Now, it may be that your conversation about your price is not right. You're not doing the price anchoring right. You're not letting them know the actual value of your course, your coaching, your membership. That could be wrong, and that's related to price, but it's not your price that isn't right. It's how you're approaching the price. And social proof is so important. And what I mean by social proof is, you can ask my community, I screenshot everything. When someone gives me praise, I'm like screenshotting it. I hop on all the time and do little video interviews with my students and clients about all different products that I have, so that you can see an actual human talking about what I do. Because again, I'm really good at talking about what I do, but you need to trust that I can do that for you as well. And that's where the social proof comes in. The other thing is, again, when we talk about getting to know your audience, do they desire what you offer, or are you offering what you think they need? Right. And again, this comes back to the audience work. And I cannot tell you, I'm going to talk about some mistakes I see. I cannot tell you how many people haven't even really thought about their audience when they create a product. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You can't simply show up online with a good idea. It has to be validated. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But again, you need to position yourself as an expert, which of course you are, so that people trust you. You need the social proof so that people trust that you can get them where you've gotten other people. Because again, people will say, yes, but you do that. Yes, but that's your living. Yes, but right? So we want to take the excuses off the table and say, look what I've done. I took someone who was terrified of video, and now this person had no idea what to say in their homepage video, and now look at their homepage video and it's bringing in leads, right? So also the other reason you may not be making sales, not making money online is, are you selling? I joke, but it's not a joke, that the only time I make money is when I make an offer. And so I see way too many people afraid to boldly ask for what they want, and they want you to sign up and work with them, right? And so I don't know what the block is. It's a mindset shift that you're not soliciting, it's an invitation. And so I don't want you to constantly be giving away free and free and free and free, and you're not asking for the sale. We have someone who was in Live Video Launchpad. She went through many of the cohorts when she finally showed up last time and said, I'm tired of giving all of this away for free. And I was tired of it like 7 cohorts ago. But she needed to get to a place where she realized, like, I am just giving myself, giving myself, giving myself. And she knows she can help people, but she wasn't asking. As soon as you start putting yourself out there and saying, yes, I can help you with all of this lovely free content, and you can start there. I have 3 calls today, strategy calls with people who found me on YouTube or LinkedIn because they said, oh, I need video help. How can you help me? Well, let's hop on a call. What if I was like, well, I have this freebie. No, I want to hop on a call with them so that they can hire me, right? So the other part of this is your direct engagement. Of course, like I said, this is not for the newbie who's not even out there live. That's why you're not selling. You're not putting yourself out there. I talked all last week about your visibility being your currency. So if you're avoiding showing up consistently, of course you're not making sales. How would you, right? But once you are doing it, you also need direct engagement. If you're going live and people respond, you need to respond back to them. I love Bonjoro, and someone can tag Casey Hill in this because I think I mentioned Bonjoro at least 17 times a day. Bonjoro is an app that I use. Anybody that joins my list has gotten a Bonjoro from me. It's a tiny 30-second, 45-second personalized video to let them know that there is a human on the other end. Why do I do that? Because I don't want someone to feel like they've invested in me, even if it's investing time, and then I'm going to run off to Guatemala with their money, right? Video is all about feedback. And I want people to realize, like, oh, this is the person that's going to give me feedback. That is what makes my trainings so much different from what is out there. It's not pre-recorded, right? I show up, I give you direct feedback all the time so that you're getting better and you're getting better and you're getting better. And that is what makes me different, right? I'm very, very solid in that. What makes you different? How can you show your community that you're going to show up for them once they do give you the money, right? It's an exchange of energy, an exchange of time, an exchange of confidence. They have confidence in you. But again, if you're not selling, have you made that connection with them? Can they trust you? Trust. It all comes down to trust. So some mistakes I see and how to fix it. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in the online marketing world is they invest in a $2,000 course on how to get your stuff online or anything like that. And they are in love with their offer and they don't test. And we talked about this before. You need to validate your idea with an actual living human audience before you put the time in to make it a course or a membership or, coaching. You need to know that what you are offering is what your audience wants from you, because that's a huge reason why you may not be making sales is you created something you were in love with and you thought your audience needed, right? So the other is that you expect a hole-in-one, right? You expect that you've shown up every week live or with pre-recorded videos, right? You're showing up on video consistently. You have to keep showing up, and you have to understand that, like, your videos, your launches are not hole-in-one. You establish your rapport, and people are still in the background, and it might not have been right this time, but they'll get it next time. And so you have to keep showing up. So that's another mistake I see, is that they assume because the person didn't buy on that first offer that it's a failure, and it's not. I have people sign up for stuff who said, I've been following you for 2 years. I also have people who have been on my list for 2 days who buy something, right? It's just a matter of hearing what they need to hear. So you need to keep showing up to make sure that you're giving them what they need, and then they can make that next step. And then the last part, the mistake I see, is there's no urgency or need. And again, this comes back to really giving everything away for free. People won't buy if they're getting enough for free. The old adage about, why buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free? Hi, Mazarique. And so it's really important that what you're putting out there is of value and has some sort of, now I don't like fake urgency. I don't like, I only have 10 spots, but really you could take hundreds. I don't agree with that type of marketing shtick. but there has to be a reason for them to sign up. And a lot of times it's the cost of inaction. So if you're struggling with, because you're like, well, I could really take as many as possible, and they don't have to do it today. Hi, Rosemary. What about the cost of inaction? I talk about that all the time. With LVL, it's 10 days. And I'm like, okay, 15 days from now, where are you going to be? Are you going to be much more comfortable being visible and going live? Or are you going to stay stuck on the sidelines? That is urgency. It doesn't always have to come in and again, urgency is like the course is closing or that type of thing. But for many of you, if you have an open enrollment type thing or membership, what is the urgency? And a lot of times it's simply that you haven't thought through the inaction, like the cost of inaction. There's so many costs. There's cost of inaction. There's cost of, well, there's a lot of different costs. The actual cost of the money and making money and time and right, like what is the investment that they're actually making with you? Those are the conversations that you need to be having. Now, if you are in launch, hi Brandolyn, and all of you that are in LVL, you have access to this. It is the 5 super short videos you must have for every launch, because that's the conversations I'm talking about, where you talk about social proof and the value of a lot of price anchoring is so important. And so many women really shy away from the price anchoring conversations, and you need to stop it. Stop it. You need to stop it, because how are people supposed to know that working with you is worth way more than the cost, right? And so I talk about it all the time. Like, working with me privately costs thousands of dollars. So when you're signing up for a cost, right? The price value there is you get access to me without having to pay those thousands and thousands of dollars. And you still get this. And again, when we talk about feedback, that's a benefit that they can't get from a pre-recorded course. There's a value to me showing up with them and having that human-to-human connection. So again, the 5 super short scripts, those are live videos intended to do this, to drum up the momentum for your launch. And then you also, again, when we talk about social proof, if you are someone who has been coaching and you've been established and you've already worked with over 4 people, or you have more than in your 4 people in your membership, or if you have people who can say kind words and really talk about transformation, you need to be getting those people on video or getting at least testimonials for them. And next week, I think I'm going to talk about the 5 really important questions to ask for a great testimonial, because I'm tired of reading like, Brandolyn's nice. Yeah, of course she's nice. We're all nice. What I want to know is transformation. So what kind of questions do you have to ask to actually get those transformative answers? And we'll talk about that. But the social proof is so important. And so again, if you're working with clients and you have a list of people, the other thing I do is a Test-A-Magical, and that is a very, very hands-on one-on-one service that I offer. And what my clients love about that is it's super hands-off for them. Like you reach out to your community and they book calls with me. I do everything else. And at the end of it, you get this awesome video of people talking about the transformation with you. So the Test-A-Magical has been magical. That's why it's called Test-A-Magical. Plus, you get little individual clips that you can use for social proof in emails and on your website and on your sales pages and as Facebook ads. And for the Facebook ads, those little individual clips have been gold. So that's another way. Rather, if you're like, I don't have time to collect social proof, well, just put it on me. I don't care. I love doing it. It's really fun for me. I actually hop on and I do the interviewing, and we do everything on the back end. And all you have to do is show up for a half an hour to get me started. And then the rest is gold. So these are all the ways. So the thing that is missing from your sales is trust. People don't trust they don't trust you, or they don't trust the process, or they're not trusting that the transformation. And so you need to show up and have these conversations. And I see too many people, this is why I'm on here today, shying away from that. They love skirting around. They're like, well, I'll just help them do this, or I'll help them show this. But that's not actually going to move them forward. It's nice information to have, but I want you moving forward. Every single live I do has a point. It has a goal, right? And my goal for you today is to really step back. If you are going live regularly, How many offers are you making? Are you making offers? Do people trust that they can get you where you need to be? And do they know that you have done it for other people? Because one of my other pet peeves is when I hear coaches talk about their big success and teaching this stuff that worked for them. That's nice, but I want to know how many other people did it work for, right? So when I tell my video story, I rarely tell it anymore because people think, oh, you're the video lady. Of course you're good on video. That's not true, but they don't hear that. What they need to hear are the other stories. So really start digging in, making offers, and making sure that your folks understand that you are the right person, they are in the right place, and you're the one to help them. And here's why, and here's how I've done it in the past, right? So those are the things, those are the elements that you need to be presenting live to make that connection and ultimately make sales. If you're watching on the replay and you have questions, just hashtag replay. Otherwise, I will see you next week. I'm experimenting with different times. I did a Thursday morning. I usually do Wednesday nights. If you have a preferable time for my lives, let me know. I'm just playing around during the summer to see if there's good, better, best times to go live for me. And again, it's testing, people. Test these things. So don't be afraid to test content out there to see really what your audience wants from you. And I will see you next week. I'll see a lot of you in LVL because you owe me some lives. I'll see you there. Bye.